Hi there, my name is Camila and I'm the owner here at the Oaks Tavern in Sherman Oaks. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story. I did not come from money. My dad was a bus driver. My mom ran a home daycare business growing up. And my way into owning a bar was a lot different than most people's probably. I was actually working 3 jobs. I was a single mother, so I had figured out over my few years of being a mom that a 9 to 5 didn't work, and that bartending was actually the best for me because I could go to work when he went to sleep. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of different bartending jobs sometimes to make ends meet. And one of the 3 jobs that I had at the time was at this little bar called Off Kilt, and it was failing miserably. Basically, the silent partner who was the money guy approached me and he said, I can tell that you care about this place and you have a really good work ethic, and the other guys want out. Would you be interested in becoming a partner? You basically would have to dig it out of debt and do whatever you need to do to make this bar profitable, and then you can become an owner. And I mean, those are the days that like every bartender dreams about, because it's always or at least for most people, I think the dream of owning a bar, even if you're not a bartender, is kind of one of those things. And of course, so I said yes, and I took over the bar, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. There was a ton of debt, a ton of back payroll, back rent. The vendors hadn't been paid, so we had no credit on anything. Like, I had to go to my distributor 5 times a week so I could just buy 1 bottle of Jameson or 1 bottle of Jack Daniels to get through that day, because we couldn't afford to buy a whole case at a time. I tried to walk away a couple times, but I got a really amazing staff who believed in me, and actually a boyfriend at the time who I met here, who's now my husband. And I just worked and worked, and I kept my second job, and every time I made money there, I put it towards the rent here. And it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, literally lots of tears, to get through those first 3 years until we finally were able to turn a profit. And little by little, this little business grew. It's a hot spot on the weekends for birthday parties because we do karaoke, and we have a big family of regulars. One of those bars where you walk into and it feels like Cheers. Even if it's your first time here, not only do we have bartenders, but we also have really friendly regulars. It doesn't feel like you're at a bar in LA. Anyway, when we celebrated our 9th anniversary in January, we had no idea that we'd be closed down just a few months later. And for those of you who don't know what's going on in Los Angeles, they shut everything down March 15th, 2 days before St. Patrick's Day, of course, the biggest bar day of the year. But I understood why they did it. It would be a super spreader holiday if everyone went out drinking on St. Patrick's Day. And then they kept everything closed. And in end of May, beginning of June, they allowed restaurants to open. And the state of California actually allowed bars like mine who don't have a kitchen to open when partnered with food. That lasted about 3 weeks. We partnered with a taco pop-up, and we were able to basically convert our operations from a bar where you walked up and ordered a drink to a full-service restaurant where you walked up, you ordered your food, and then you were seated at a table, and then you could order your drinks, and we had it all working perfectly. And then LA County decided that bars were too dangerous to keep open even when partnered with food, and they shut us down. On June 29th was when they shut us back down, and we've been closed ever since. We were really hoping that the county would change their mind and allow us to partner with food, because the rest of the state was allowed to partner with food in order to stay open. Every week I called in, I tried to voice my opinion at the supervisors meeting, but I never got the opportunity to voice my opinion, but it didn't matter. They just decided that bars were just too dangerous to reopen. In September, they allowed breweries to reopen and wineries. and we were hoping that bars would be next. And so we got together with a bunch of the regulars. I had a bunch of wood donated, and then I bought whatever I needed to in supplies to build an outdoor structure so that we'd be ready for outdoor dining. I drove all around the valley and up to Anaheim and getting free furniture on OfferUp so that we'd have some furniture for our outdoor patio. And nothing happened, and we're still just waiting. So we decided that the only path forward would be to put in a kitchen. It's proven to be a lot of work and a lot of money, because going from a bar that just serves drinks to a bar that serves food is actually totally different parameters. Even though we don't know when we'll be able to open up, we're hoping that this gives us the opportunity to at least open up with the restaurants. We're behind more than $60,000 in back rent, and we are also, behind on our electricity. We just don't know when we'll be able to pay any of these things, and once the moratorium is lifted, then we owe that money, and we don't have a timeline for when are we going to be able to make $60,000 again to pay our back rent. And how are we going to pay $10,000 a month in rent when we're not allowed to be at full capacity, and when we can't do our normal program, which is karaoke, which is what made us money? I mean, it's like we take one step forward and it's two steps back, and I just really hope that we can make it through this.
Okay, so this is my little bar, and you're going to have to pardon the mess because we are kind of under construction, trying to put in this kitchen area. Had to take all the beer out of the fridges, and there's dust everywhere, but you can see it's a tiny little bar, but it's mine, and we're trying to get it back up and running again.
And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has supported us throughout the years. I'm really hoping that we are going to make it another 10 years. Thanks.